What's up, guys? It's Rob here, and today we're going to be talking about some of the Trump pump stocks, specifically PHUN, PHUN, and Mark, MARK, because these are two that people are very interested in and are very heavily tied to DWAC, as you're about to see. If you look at the 10-day charts for these stocks, you can see that DWAC, which you see right here, is almost exactly like PHUN, right? It's almost the exact same chart you're looking at, except Mark is a somewhat similar chart, however, is a bit more bearish than all of them, right? It took a little bit longer to get going and has been sinking more and more. So there are reasons for this, and we'll start by explaining why these stocks are all linked together, right? So PHUN, PHUN, is an Austin-based tech company, a former SPAC that has ties with President Trump. In 2020, it helped run the re-election campaign for him and Pence, and it may now be linked to the new company, right? It's speculated that it's going to have a partnership with DWAC and Trump's new media corporation. So that's just a speculation, right? It's not guaranteed that PHUN is going to be linked to these companies and that it's going to have another link with Trump. However, it does seem likely because it has worked with them in the past, and it makes sense that he would choose to work with them in the future. Now, MARK, we will briefly run over why this one is pumping as well, right? It's basically pumping following rumors on Reddit that they could potentially be entering a 5-year contract signed with the president. Not confirmed, though, right? Wall Street memes warning whether the story is accurate is a whole different story and deserves high levels of skepticism. It's not certain if this story is true about MARK. However, that hasn't stopped it from pumping up quite high, okay? And this MARK, just so you guys know, provides artificial intelligence solutions for businesses and software developers. So it makes sense that Trump would need a company like this to be working on his social media platform. However, we're here to talk about the stocks and where they might be going in the future. So first of all, DWAC. This is the one that I'm the most bullish on. This is the one that I actually have a stock of, right? I have 150 shares of this company at an average price of $24.18. So that's about a 7K profit right there. Now, PHUN has been trading very similarly to DWAC, and it's actually a bit more volatile, right? So the highs are higher and the lows are lower. We can take a look at that, and we can see when this company opened up on the initial day of the pump, it opened up at around $1 and traded to highs of 24. So that was about a 24x. DWAC, on the other hand, on the initial day of the pump, opened up around $12 and moved to 17. So that's about a 12-fold or a 13-fold increase. So it moved up to 175, 13-fold increase from $12. MARK was a little bit late, right? It took a little bit longer for these rumors to get out, but it did start the day close to $1, but closer to 89 cents. And pumped up to $9.90, about a 10-fold increase. But that was only in after hours, right, and in pre-market. So it ended up subsiding significantly and then dumping as the market opened, and has since been tanking, day after day, right? We're down about 11% on the day with MARK. The other two stocks were green on the day, right? PHUN was up 0.21% and DWAC was up 12%. Now, the reason that DWAC tends to be the most bullish, right? The reason that people tend to be the most bullish on this stock is because it is the only one that is confirmed 100% to be working with Trump and to actually be merging with his company. So people know that if they want their money in a more secure investment that they at least know is going to be involved with Trump in some way, then DWAC is the way to go. PHUN, well, it's a much lower market cap. It's a lot more volatile. It has the chance to be moving up significantly if it does end up working with Trump. It's not guaranteed that it is, and so people are a bit more wary, and that's why you see on the day that we are bearish. We tend to be a little bit more bearish on days that we're bullish. We tend to be slightly less bullish with PHUN. At least that's what's been happening lately, right? We've somewhat stagnated right here, and we're kind of fighting with the $5 level, seeing if we can get back above that. With MARK, we're more so just moving down and subsiding and moving lower and lower. We're having a lot of trouble getting back above $2. It acted as a support for us for a while. However, we just today ended up breaking below that level, and it's not looking good for MARK stock. So DWAC is the most bullish one of the three. It's the only one that's actually in an active uptrend right now. You can see that we did subside from the highs for a while. For a couple of days, we ended up sinking. However, this stock has been moving up the past 2 days. It's up in after hours today. So it's looking good for DWAC, and it's the one that a lot of people think will be the most bullish. And you can see why. If you look at the Google Trends data for these three stocks, DWAC is this blue line. It is the most searched for on Google, the most well-known. PHUN is the red line. It's the second most searched for and well-known. And MARK is the yellow line. So not many people searching for it in comparison to PHUN and especially not in comparison to DWAC. So by far, DWAC is the most popular. However, that's almost necessary if you look at the market caps for these stocks. You can see DWAC's market cap, Digital World Acquisition Corp, that's the main one, has a market cap of $2.61 billion. And PHUN only has a market cap of 364 million, so much, much smaller, almost a tenth of the size, closer to a seventh of the size of DWAC. Mark is the smallest of all three, with a market cap of $194 million. So very small market caps on PHUN and MARK. But DWAC has a somewhat significant market cap, right? $2.6 billion. That's getting tough to move the market cap with retail money. Obviously, there are plenty of retail investors who I think will be interested in this. I think that will most likely be moving up in the future based off of how many people love Trump and really want to be involved in his company. I think that a lot of people were waiting for a dip. We just talked about another way that you can potentially get in on this stock with the warrants. I made another video about that. Feel free to check it out if you're interested. But I am also comfortable holding the stock, right? I am currently holding 150 shares, as I pointed out at the beginning of this video. Now, I'm not trying to convince anyone to buy shares of any of these companies or to sell their shares. I'm just giving you guys my opinion and the information that I've gathered on them. But you can also see that one of the reasons why DWAC, aside from being the top trending on Google, why it's the most popular is it is the number 10 most ranking stock, the 10th highest ranking stock, rather, on Reddit and Wall Street Bets. You can see right here, it has 177 mentions and 1,000 upvotes. Now, that's not that much compared to what some of the actual top trending stocks like Lucid and Tesla and Prague are. However, it is somewhat significant, right? And we may actually see a bit more of that. But if you go to see a stock like Mark on this list, then you actually have to go down to the 63rd spot. It's only got 27 mentions and 39 upvotes. So really not that much for Mark stock. And PHUN, unfortunately, isn't listed here. So there's nothing for PHUN, but you can see why why DWAC is getting far more buys, why far more people are buying this, and why far more people are hearing about it, because it's just mentioned more on more platforms like Google, like Reddit, and even on StockTwits. You can see that DWAC is the fourth highest ranking stock, the fourth most active on StockTwits. So it's just getting a ton of attention everywhere, whereas PHUN, it's here at number 10 on StockTwits, but MARK is nowhere to be seen. These are very low market cap stocks, so PHUN and MARK are going to be tough to move, right? It looks like MARK has somewhat left the trend of trading in sympathy with DWAC. PHUN, however, has not necessarily, right? It still tends to move up when DWAC moves up, and this is important because if people want to see PHUN move up, they're going to have to wait for DWAC to move up and hope that PHUN moves up in sympathy. And it's always possible that PHUN will move up in a greater percentage point way than DWAC because the market cap is so low. If people sense there's an opportunity there, it's likely that people may try to buy PHUN stock in an attempt to get a nice swing out of it. However, over the long term, I think DWAC is the more solid choice. That's just my opinion, though. Obviously, some people look at the prices of these stocks and say DWAC, that's $70, and PHUN, that's $4. So this obviously could be moving up a lot more. If you look at the market caps, the price doesn't actually have much to do with that, but the price also reflects it. So granted, there is potentially more upside in PHUN, and it's not just tied to Trump, right? It is an actual company that does other things as well. So that's what I had to say about PHUN and MARK stock and how they relate to DWAC. So if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We do live streams every day starting at 9. So feel free to, subscribe and turn on notifications for those, or just check out the channel around then and you can probably find it. So other than that, guys, I hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.